All right, thanks for being here. Morning crew, let's begin. So let's connect to our breath. Bringing in that Ujjayi technique just enough to feel a fine quality of breath. So this Ujjayi breath technique that we engage, you'll notice we can apply it at a small amount. We can apply it in a very loud way. And they all have their benefit. Apply the Ujjayi technique so that you feel the breath growing finer. There's a smoother, more refined quality. So let's play with that these first few moments. You may have to relax some throat structures. You may have to roll back some of the effort around the neck. But our Ujjayi technique is to work the diaphragm more so than the neck muscles. Okay. So there's a very subtle strengthening, or a little reluctant to use this word, toning of the diaphragm, the vocal diaphragm, when we engage this Ujjayi. But we take it a little too far, we end up just working and hardening the neck structure. So it's finding that right amount of effort. And it's with that breath, when you find that we'll work our pranayama this morning. We're going to start 10 in, 10 out. So we're engaging the Ujjayi technique. The Ujjayi technique is being applied so precisely that fineness of breath moves in for 10 full counts. And maybe breathing even becomes less effortful. The exhale will sound really quite like the inhale. I find myself, this technique will come across as more labored if my jaw or my head jut or hang forward. So this is where that postural and that verticality be very helpful. So you may have to bring your jaw, your head back. You may even have to lift the chest, getting support for those neck vertebrae from underneath. Ten in, 10 out. Our part 2 of pranayama this morning will involve uddiyana, so drawing the belly back. Let me describe. It will be 10 count in, 10 count out, 10 count whereby we're holding the breath as we pull the belly back. So we've essentially doubled the exhalation. I'll talk us through. 10 count inhalation. Ten count exhale. And as you're moving toward the end of that exhalation, you can start to hinge forward, bring the hands to the ground, and relax the chin toward the sternum. Draw the belly in, back, and up. 10 count. Of course, relax the belly when you need to take a breath. We'll come upright. We'll do that one last time. So 10 in, 10 out, 10, draw in, hold. So begin with the inhale. Ten out. You can be hinging, folding the body forward so that the hands are on the ground. The forearms can brace against the shins. And then we draw the belly back. So we're holding that empty state, drawing the belly back for 10. When you've released, when you've moved upright, we'll adjust our legs. Right leg out, left leg bent, heel near groin. Inhale the right arm up. Bless you. Exhaling, reach with that right armpit for your right foot. Your armpit may not touch the foot right now, but at least we'll lengthen that right side. We'll set that hand down. Now inhale, draw the left arm up for chest opener. Another little cool discovery about the neck I found yesterday is all of this structure under the jaw and in the neck, between the wishbone, the hyoid, the breastbone, and the knobbly spine bone, and our thyroid, they're all connected to the heart sac, the pericardium. So structurally, the throat, jaw, thyroid, and heart have this exquisite linkage, kind of ligamentous connective tissue linkage. So when you relax the neck, the throat, the collar area, I wonder what our access is like in the heart. And we're going to lower this left hand to access the left side of the neck. I like to lower the hand lower than the shoulder. You can always fine tune this. Use that very fine quality of breath. With the right amount of ujjayi, that effort and resistance was being applied, that you can feel that breath so finely kind of permeate the left side of your neck and your skull, shoulder. And you might just want to track that into the heart. Does that ease the entrance into the heart? There we go. All right, let's use the right hand on the ground to push, the left hand to help pull, and we'll come upright. Let's use that right hand on the right side of the head, assist the head up. It's been melting out there a bit. We'll switch sides. Inhale the left arm up. Exhaling, reach left armpit toward left foot. So we lengthen through the left side as we hinge. We'll set that left hand down. For chest opener, inhale, draw the right arm up. Spread the hand bones. And exhaling, reach out, reach out. You may reach back. And just following on the heels of yesterday's practice, use that refinement, the sound of a fine breath to coax you in more deeply so that we can inhabit our person more fully and more deeply. You really have to listen to the ujjayi and feel. To me, it's like a coarseness or a fineness. Using the sensitivity of the nose and the palate, the tongue area, the neck. for accessing the neck. Letting that fine breath soak into the scalenes and up behind the ear. You may even find your middle ear, your ear muscles relax a little bit. And then the question I have for you is, if you're feeling structure of the neck soften, does that improve or change the access you now have into your heart? Inhaling, left hand push, right hand pull. Use your hand to help head up. If you got some significant shift, that might feel a little tender or fragile moving, so help it up. All right, let's lie on our back. The other side of the neck is the butt, the sacrum. Have your roll nearby. We'll get to that momentarily. And we've got our feet off ground, our hands supporting the back of the neck. I'll encourage you to keep listening to that fine quality of breath throughout our abdominals. Now, if one thing has changed a bit in the year of doing yoga with you in this way, it's kind of my exhale, my speech as I'm working with these abdominals. So if you want to just try out a little sentence fragment as you're doing abdominals, you'll be able to hear readily what your breath, the fineness of your breath, as you're accessing your abdomen. It's kind of a fun play. Inhale, the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Listening to that quality of breath. And curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reaches out. And the elbows just turn slightly toward the right thigh. And we'll draw low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Listen to that quality of breath as you feel the area below navel. The tailbone may shift. Exhale, right leg reach out. The elbows may turn slightly toward left thigh. Draw low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reach out. Draw low belly down, relaxing the head, the weight of the head, into the hands. Inhale, coming back centrally, bending left knee. There's abdominal pressure in which you may feel the tailbone shift up a little bit. Exhale, right leg out reach. Spread foot bones, draw low belly down. Okay, let's do just 3 more on each side. Let's do those on our own. If you're making bits of sound as you're working your abdominals, feel that the sound is resonating in that low belly area. If it sounds crackly or like it's straining in the neck and the mask area, reach lower. Sound tells all. Because we definitely want our heart connected to our guts. And it just sounds and seems like a good thing to have our voice connected to our heart, connected to our guts. We've got the roll. When you're through, we'll place it between legs. Now we'll reach the legs skyward. Inhale into low belly. Pausing, squeeze, roll. Curl tailbone. Exhale, head and shoulders off ground. Maintain that squeeze. We can increase that squeeze. Pull low belly down. Now listen to the quality, the sound of your breath as you inhale the head down. So even if you're not choosing to make any kinds of sounds, you can still hear the breath. Squeeze the roll, curl tailbone. Exhale, head and shoulders off the ground. Keeping that wishbone, that hyoid area, clutch free. Pull low belly down. Inhale, head to ground. Okay. By working with Ujjayi, you're in a sense able to work with and hear your voice. Squeeze the roll, curl tailbone, exhale, head and shoulder blades off the ground. So you can listen to your Ujjayi, you can listen to your voice, that both work. Pull low belly down. Now inhale, when you set your head down, let's do 3 more. We can do those at our own pace, just listening to whatever sound you're able to track with today. Whether it's the sound of your Ujjayi, the ease or or if you're vocalizing through some components. There you go. Excellent. When you're through with that roll, as it appears most of us are, set it off to the side. Let's turn over. We can get into the back of the heart by way of dolphin. So we'll set up the elbows under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and pause in your setup playing with the freedom in the neck until you hear a sound of ujjayi, that ujjayi sound. Where there's some freedom, there's some movement. Okay. So if we're struggling or straining, it will sound like we're kind of being compressed around the throat structure. We'll hear that. It can kind of sound, to me it sounds a little bit like apnea. So just allow the head to kind of relax. But now listen to your breath. So once you get your hands set up, just pause and begin that listening, that feeling listening into the neck and the breath. And then curling the toes under. On your next exhalation, listen to that exhale as we press up into dolphin. Not only is the vocal and the neck apparatus important, it's important as it plays into the heart, as it plays into the brain, as it communicates with our guts. Same with the hips. The hips are really great and important. But they connect us to our pelvis, to our guts, to our spine, to our core. This is a whole body, a whole body. And these final 3 breaths in dolphin, you feel the unique tone and contour of breath in the back of the heart. What does your breath feel like and sound like as you attune to the back of the heart? Does it sound weighted or congested? Does it sound free? Does it sound thin? Does it sound full or resonant? These will all give us some clues into our body. And we'll ease the knees down. Slide the hands under the shoulders. And straight away we'll press into downward dog. Easy twisting lunge. Inhale, step your right foot forward, placing the left knee down, keeping the left hand down. Now draw the right arm up so the chest turns to the right. And really, we're in quite a similar scenario as when we were doing that neck release. We can relax the head and the neck. We can feel our breath beginning in that low belly, reaching the heart, softening through the neck. And then feeling again, now, what's my access like in my heart? When I'm accessing my guts, when my throat is connected to my heart, when my neck is relaxed, what's that feel like in our heart now? Inhale, bring the right hand down to the thigh. And you'll press your trunk up. We're moving into a twist. So we'll raise the left arm. Exhaling the left elbow over the right thigh. Now listen to the sound, the quality, the sound, the refinement of each breath. If you're listening to your breath, you're listening to the voice of wherever you're attuning. So if you're attuning to that place in the left side of your back by your diaphragm, and you listen to the sound and the fineness of your breath, you will hear the voice of that area of your body. This is kind of an intuitive hearing, an intuitive listening. Some areas of our body may almost seem to squeal or cry for help. And some areas may feel like a big old celebration. Inhaling, let's unwind. Set the hands down. When we slide the right foot back, and bring the roll back into play. So if you don't have a roll, then the next most suitable object is getting a big fat towel, bath towel, beach towel, and getting that cylindrically rolled up. I'm going belly on roll. And make sure the ribs are entirely free of the roll. That's important. We're not pressing our ribs into the roll. They're free. They are free. And while we're lying on roll, feeling the gut and the quality of breath at the exact same instance. So just take note if your tongue muscle, if you're kind of pushing it into the throat and the jaw area, maybe the tongue can relax, maybe the throat can slightly open, maybe there's some more ease we can discover in the neck and throat. If our neck and throat are being used as a gate for our head, it becomes a gate for our experience. Right? If our head is just a gated community of thoughts, we're going to lose a lot of the fidelity of our human experience. So that throat gate being open is really, really vital. Inhaling, let's bring the hands under the chest. Exhaling, press to the knees, moving roll. And downward dog. All right, inhale, step left foot forward. Easy twisting lunge. So the right knee is down, the right hand is down, and we draw the left arm up. I just had this marvelous probe into our gut. Perhaps we massaged our breath into that gut. It's a bit more. Can you feel that gut-heart connection here? Listen to your breath. Listen to your ujjayi breath, the sound of your breath, the fineness of your breath. Can you feel how accessing the gut really brings a warmth, a middle note, a bottom note to the heart? There's a more earthen quality to that heart connection. And maybe it's just my interpretation, but that's what it feels like to me. There's a warmth, an earthenness. Inhale, bring the left hand down to the thigh that you may press your trunk up, raising the right arm for twisting lunge. Exhaling, we'll hook the right elbow over the left thigh. And I don't know if that's Jimmy or Susan. If that's Jimmy, we can press this left hand down on the thigh, and that might alleviate some of that hip pinch. Really, anyone can do that. So if I add some manual pressure down atop my left thigh, sometimes that just helps if there's a little pinch in the hip area. Now, sometimes we know there's an achy, like one of these pervasive aches in the body. Can you notice if you're trying to tune it out or not hear it? And what would that require? What would that take of us to listen to the voice of all of these bodily aspects, the aches, the wonderment, the mystery? Listen to your breath, the quality of your breath in the twist. If it sounds belabored, you can hear that. If it starts to open up, you can hear that. Inhale, let's unwind. When we bring the hands down, we'll do one last roll of lying on a roll. And if you want to omit this, that's a possibility too. So working cobra over a roll. Because we'll be here for about 3 breaths, I'm going to insert a block between my ankles. Set the hands just in front of the shoulders. And engaging the legs, inhale into the roll. And I'm elevating the chest slightly. Now the hands will just maintain this elevation as I exhale. The belly softens. And I might be feeling underneath the heart. So just breathe there. Inhaling from the roll under the heart. Exhaling. You feel the mass of the body descend on the roll. If you want to explore deeply, you may use your hands and lightly pull. It's quite an intensifier, so do that very carefully. Let's take one deep breath more. Find the block, so finding your legs. Inhale. Feel right under the heart, connecting gut to heart. Exhaling as you lower down, just mildly lengthening the heart away from the gut. When you can, set your hands under the chest. On your next exhale, we'll press off that roll. Being done with that, press to downward dog. Archer and warrior 1. Inhale, right foot forward. Straps are invited to play. And this archer, we will work left elbow up, right elbow point down. Now, if I just play the numbers here, there's a good chance as we're setting up and getting into this pose that there's some tightness that accrued around the jaw, the skull, the neck. So we'll just take these moments to catch it. And if you want to work that differently, if you want to work with a freer neck, you may. Letting that neck gate kind of open beneath the brain. And those cranial, those head diaphragms. We have diaphragms in the head. Then we can release. When we set the left knee down, please apply a little extra padding. Lunge. Okay. Now I'm setting up my strap in a loop. Whoop. So that I can grab my left foot with the loop of my strap. Now here, if you need some additional balance, keep your right hand on your right thigh. Okay. If you can afford, you may reach your right hand to the strap also. Bring those elbows really closely in. I like a very big loop. I would almost always prefer just being able to see my triceps or my arms and my peripheral. Now listen to your breath. Listen to the fineness or the labor in the voice, in the breath rather, which is your voice. And release. We'll set that left foot down. Please remove props. And pigeon. Walk the right foot to the left side of the mat. Lie shin down. There's a little detail here I want to share again. The fineness of one's breath, feeling the breath, hearing the breath become very fine, is not the equivalent of diminishing one's breath. This is not a diminished breath. In fact, it's a highly sensitive degree of attunement. It's some of the most careful and quiescent listening that we invoke in our body. So by a fine breath, I don't mean just like skip out on breath and kind of dilute it down, but listen more closely. It's a fainter sound, so bring even more of your sensitivity to bear. Listen even more carefully. Inhale, walk the hands under shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. Archer Warrior One. Inhale, left foot forward. All straps are welcome. And it's right elbow up, left elbow down. And I challenge you to enter into Archer without tightening the neck, because sometimes we do some groovy little neck moves. And then we spend the rest of the pose relaxing and unthrowing our head. So I challenge you to just switch sides. Right elbow up. Left elbow down. To lower the strap, keeping the neck quiet. And then as you connect to breath, you'll hear the quality of your breath. And where do you feel the breath most prominently in your body, in this pose? Yeah, and if you want, Connie, you can really reach up with that right tricep. Oh, yeah. And that way we can bring that breath under the heart and traps and scaps. Yeah, let those arms, those arm reaches, let that help us into these deep upper ribs so that they may articulate and be respired into motion, life-full motion. That's it. Nice. Good. Let's release this side. We've got a couple more poses. We place the right knee down on some padding. With the loop of your strap, connect the right hand and the right foot in your lunge. Additional balance, you can leave that left hand on the left thigh. If that's not necessary for you, use the both hands on the loop. Now this does not have to be very back bendy at all, really. You may keep a quite neutral spine, or right? This doesn't have to be back bendy. I just wanted us to have at least a moment where we can feel the breath connecting from the pelvis and the gut and the heart into the throat and the brain. That's it. I would say the same, Natalia. You can use both those, the armpits, the arms, the L. Yes, there we go. And so right there in those top few ribs, right up at the top of the sternum. Yes. Those are fun, great heart breaths. Yeah, keep reaching with that arm. Whatever's got the strap, reach with that arm. It's a great way to feel into the heart throat corridor, if you will. That's it, Megan. You can feel if the throat's tensing. You can feel if the throat's opening. Good. Let's release and set up that pigeon. Put the strap off to the side. Walk the left foot across the mat. Lying shin down. As I relax the throat, the neck, as that becomes an open pathway. Right? The wisdom of the heart be imbued in the quality of thoughts that I want to bring about on this earth. Our guts will show up in our communications, right? The way I'm experiencing the heart currently is there's a cohering quality to it. To access the heart is to feel greater coherence. Or less otherness, if you like it that way. We connect to the heart. There's less othering in our body. When the heart connects to our mind, there can be less othering in our head, in our thought style. And to exit from here and into Shavasana, just shift over onto your left hip. Bring that right leg around, and let's lie back for Shavasana. Add in any layers you like. And when we bring our heart into our guts, don't want to leave that one out, we can explore our agency without other, right? Bringing our whole individualness, the gift of our agency into the earth without there needing to be other. So we're agentic beings, we're communal beings. And when you're ready, we'll bend knees, turn to a side. And up we go. I love y'all. Namaste. Good to see you, Connie.